Hello, everybody. Today we're going to take a look at Nike Structure Plus, releasing January, February. It is a new take on stability without plates or firm sidewalls. It features React X foam on below and a core of Lively Zoom X. Nike calls it supportive cushioning, and that's exactly what I experienced on the run at the running event in San Antonio in nice warm weather, and here in New Hampshire in nice cold weather. So here's our take. Hi everybody, Sam from RoadTrailRun. Today we're going to take a look at Nike's Support Structure Plus, which is coming out limited in January and then more globally in February. So this is Nike's plus version of the Structure. I haven't run the Structure, I think, ever, because as Nike says in kind of at our at the running event where they introduced it, stability is boring, and I agree. I really have not much enjoyed any stability shoe. They're either posted or too broad. But here, Nike has done something kind of special, which I'm very much enjoying. So what they've done is first, it's decently light at 10.2 ounces, 288 grams in this US 8.5 samples on a quite broad platform. So, for example, the Vomero Plus, which is just slightly higher stack height, is 9.6 ounces. Here we have a 42 millimeter heel, 32 millimeter forefoot. It looks higher because the secret here, if you will, are these high sidewalls of React X, the black being a deep central core of Nike's Super Duper Zoom X. You can see not particularly firm either. And what this does is these sidewalls, while they look massive, on the lateral side, there's the medial side, on the lateral side, they're more concave, which allows you to land and roll a bit towards the medial side with this kicking in for support. Now, I've taken them out for runs here in New Hampshire and also at the running event, and this is a very subtle kind of pleasant take on stability. I'm surprised because I'm usually in a neutral type shoe. I can't really stand stability, but this has been fun. Just very gentle guidance down the sides here, and kind of a lively ride because we've got that top-notch Zoom X. You can see they're relatively flexible already after a couple runs. The upper is an engineered mesh, soft, true to size, not particularly broad, kind of the usual Nike fit, but a little bit more giving mesh here than, for example, the Vomero Plus or, say, a Pegasus. We've got lots of cushioning. While there isn't a gusset to the tongue, there is a panel on the medial side which ties into the lacing. A little bit difficult to see, whereas on the lateral side there isn't. So what they're doing is providing you more pull, more support on the medial side here, pulling in. Stable and steady. So this is stability done in a pleasant fashion, and even neutral runners, I think, can enjoy this for certain kinds of runs. For example, recovery runs, long runs. It's really excellent. There's not really a small waffle outsole, as say on the Vomero Plus, but a kind of more flatter kind of profile. Works really well. You can see the grooves, which help with the toe off, and then the firmer rubber here that adds the stability, but a deep decoupling or groove in the center here, which also allows that nice smooth flow forward. So I'm going to give you some impressions from relatively warm San Antonio at the running event, where it was about 44 Celsius, and then from today's run where it was -4. See how that foam kind of acts, then we'll have a few conclusions. But another surprise from Nike in the bigger shoe category for this year in the trainers to go with that Vomero Plus and Vomero Premium. Let's take them for the run in San Antonio along the Riverwalk and then here in New Hampshire. Okay, we're on the Riverwalk. We got some nice duckies. Oh, little ones too. And we got the Structure Plus. It's got Zoom X and React X. I was kind of worried it would be a lumpy stability shoe, but the Zoom X does a nice job. And the sidewalls, which I showed you, come up seemingly really high. You'd think it'd be really rigid on the medial side, but it isn't. They're just nice vertical walls. But I don't usually run in stability shoes, so this is a very pleasant experience. We're on the Riverwalk. So I was saying the sidewalls that rise up, particularly on the medial side, but both sides really, are kind of high. They're almost like part of the heel counter more than anything you feel strongly underfoot. So it's not a medial post, that's for sure. And it's also not, I don't get that rigid kind of right at the arch feel that I often did in the Brooks guide rail, although it's better. Those are better now. And then the other thing, the toe off, I think because we have that nice dollop of Zoom X is lively, very responsive. Okay, it's not a light shoe, it's not a racing shoe, but I think we're going about 940 miles, 950, maybe a bit faster. But it's certainly a shoe that you could call a heavy-duty daily trainer. And probably I will use it also for those easier recovery runs. But for longer runs, you want that stability a bit more than, say, neutral, but noticeable, but not obnoxious. It's feeling pretty darn good. So now we're going over the locks on the San Antonio River. The Riverwalk goes all the way, multiple branches through the center of San Antonio. So if we kept going here another a couple miles, we'd be at the convention center where the running event was. Outsole plays well with the road in this concrete. A little bit slippery on these pebbles. They were washing them, but that's to be expected. We've run several shoes here. They've all been kind of slippery on the pebbles when they're wet. So we're about 5 miles in on the Riverwalk. I think the shoe's settling in a bit. You know, the stability thing, or the side walls, kind of probably adapt to your individual stride depending on how much you need. So I'm finding them a little bit more mellow here in the 6th mile than in the first. It's a little bit smoother flow along. It's just beautiful in here, right through the center of town. The surface is kind of pebbles in concrete, a little bit slippery in places, but any shoe would be slippery. But the grip's good. Temperature in the 40s, 50s, with these islands. So there's all kinds of things right by the river. Ooh, maybe come back there for coffee. What I'm really noticing again is the toe off. Stability shoes tend to be more rigid at the rear, tend to get your toeing off easy enough, tend to be flexible. I haven't flexed it, I'll do that after, but it feels nice and snappy. Oh, we got some cowboy art. Oh, that's where the on party was. Sorry, Nike. Got Briscoe Art Museum. They had a cool stagecoach. This for sure isn't the Riverwalk in San Antonio. It's the Atlantic here in Rye for another run in our Structure Plus. Well, the fit is definitely true to size, relatively broad. The mesh is decently soft. You've got a nice firm toe bumper, but it isn't too kind of over the toes. The foot wrap is excellent. This is a very comfortable ride to go with what Nike calls supportive cushioning, and the foam hasn't hardened up in the Gold here. It's about 23 degrees, breezy, about -5 or 6 Celsius. I'm gonna run along here. Beautiful day here. Cold but beautiful. Give you some more commentary in a few when I get back on pavement, but the sand's pretty firm too. A lot of seaweeds washed up. So there's a real sense of directed kind of in the line of travel motion here because of those sidewalls. Doesn't really feel like traditional stability at all. It's more sort of a guidance forward. And we definitely have a nice lively toe off in this shoe. So there's no sensation of overstabilization in the sides, either the lateral side or the medial side. So as I'm running more in them, I think we're really looking at a shoe that's definitely a daily trainer. I'm finding it more lively in flex sort of and kind of snap off the forefoot. It's a bit less cushion than, say, the Vomero Plus. Our stabilizing elements are towards the rear, and they get very, very gentle right at midfoot. So there's no sensation of arch pressure, firmness under the arch or on the sides of the arch. Just sort of directs you. I think, depending on your needs, it's probably quite adaptive. So I don't need much. But if you do pronate quite a bit, I bet it'll kick in a bit more as you pronate to the side. But as far as I'm concerned, for me, it's supportive cushioning, as they say, and it's almost kind of a neutral feel more than a stability feel, but more pronounced than, say, a Vomero Plus or a Vomero, but really a fine ride and a fine day. So we go from that nice, stable, but not harsh heel with our 10 millimeter drop to the front to rubber that's not overly firm. You got a really nice responsive toe off. I think 10 millimeters in a drop in a shoe like this is just what we want, because it drives you forward, that stability, and then to, even though it's not a light shoe, to a really, I think, dynamic, quick toe off with a bit of flexibility. So it's just very effective. So, like, I think this would be an excellent choice for long runs at moderate paces, maybe even fast paces. You don't want to go with a super light shoe. Certainly a daily trainer if you want some stability, not worried about weight. It's not bad. 10.2, 10.3 ounces, 290 grams in my US 8.5. Reasonable for the 42, 32 stack height. They're lighter shoes, but they really serve different purposes. Okay, thank you very much for watching. We don't know the price yet as of this filming of the Structure Plus. Expect probably 170, 180, something like that. It should be available early January at select retailers and more globally February 6th. Nike Structure Plus. A nice, friendly, supportive, quote, stability shoe that really doesn't feel like one. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great run.